Thank you for tuning in again. I am Timbi Terrell, and this is the American Dysfunction. This segment, I would like to talk to you about survival of the fittest. Do you know how to survive if you were stripped and robbed of everything? At one point in your life, and you had to start over. From pillar to post. What would you do to survive? And some of these pointers I'm going to give to you are some of the key elements that you need to survive, no matter where you go, how far you travel, how light you travel. These are some of the things. Always carry your basic essentials: toothbrush, toothpaste, washcloth, towels. If you can, one or two. Lotion, soap. I prefer, if you travel with body washes apart opposed to the bar soap, because you don't want to lay your bar soap, around. If you can get a chamois would help, because you can lay the chamois down. It soaks up water. You don't know your environment, your area. A bottle of sanitizer. If you can get a little small, tiny bottle of bleach, you never know what your circumstances, will be in the areas you have to be around. That goes if you had to go to a shelter, you have to have shower shoes, because you don't want to necessarily put your feet, bare feet, in other places where people in the public, in a communal place. You want to be safe. There are areas where people, are infected with hepatitis and other types of germs and bacteria, and you don't want to pick any of those up. So if you have to be in a situation, you want to know at all costs, and at all costs, that you are protecting yourself and your family in the event that you have to take your children out into that environment too. Know the areas that you're going into. Know that there are two different types of shelters out there. You have a wet shelter and you have a dry shelter. A dry shelter, no drug usage at all. A wet shelter, there may be people that are using, drunks, bums, homeless people, people who just don't care, that are in that environment. So you want to make sure that you have all your key elements and all your key essentials. If you're going to relocate outside of your area, your state or your city, you want to know what your options are, for housing, for jobs, for education. You want to know what the crime rate is. You want to know what the living, status is. You want to know what the economy rate is. Is it going to be easy for you to get a job? Is it going to be hard for you to get a job? Do you need transportation? Can you survive without transportation? What are the things you have to do? So you have to take the time to, investigate and evaluate, your means, and what are the things you have to do. Again, if you're going into a shelter situation, you might want to carry your own little plastic forks and knives. Thrift stores carry them all the time, at really no cost, that you can get a plate, fork, knife, a spoon, and a cup, to travel with you. It sounds crazy, but in certain circumstances, you might want to do that. I absolutely do not encourage, one young women or men to go live with your friends. Not unless you're up to the game and you can take care of your business, and you're not going to be there that long. You're going to be in and out. Don't get in with your peoples and get comfortable. Ain't cool. That is not the type of lifestyle you want to live. You want to get on your feet to be self-sufficient for yourself, get motivated, get amped, get up, get out. Those are some of the key and basic things that you would be more interested in. If you're traveling with children, you have to find out what's good for your children's welfare. With the housing situation, when you get into that place, how soon will you be out of there, until another unit for self-sufficiency? Do they have like places and programs like Section 8? How long is the waiting list? What do you do in the meantime? Are there any little programs or counseling groups that would help you? Are you dealing with, human services? What do they offer you? What do they provide you? Are you going to get assistance? Where are your local welfare offices at? All welfare offices, across the United States are different. Some states, you receive, assistance once a month, on certain days. Some people get it at the same day, all the time. So you want to know what your resources are, and you really want to search and get all the information that you need, that is going to better assist you and help you out, in the future. So I hope that me giving you a little bit of this insight and this information has been helpful to you. If you have to move or relocate to do something different. And this concludes our little segment of the American Dysfunction. I'll see you again soon. Peace and blessings.